Hey guys, so today what we're gonna make are candy corn mason jars. All you need is a mason jar, some paint, and let's get started. So here's what you need: a mason jar any size, paint brushes, some masking tape or some painter's tape, and then your paint. Right here what I have is I made some chalk paint. Chalk paint's gonna work the best, so if you can get chalk paint, that's fine. If you can't, this is acrylic paint that I made into chalk paint, and I will put in the description how to make it. So let's get started. So what you're gonna wanna do first is decide on your jar how much space you wanna use for each. So this one, I'm gonna go by the ounces on the jar here. So what I'm gonna do is tape off where the 2 ounce mark is on here. And that's gonna be for my orange on the bottom. Try to make it as straight as you can. I know that's a little bit tricky on something cylindrical, but just try your best to have it taped off just like that. So now that I have that part sectioned off, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my paint, give it a little mix at first. And then since the bottom of a candy corn is orange, now I'm just gonna paint the base of my jar orange. And you're probably gonna need 2 coats, but that's okay. Try to make it as smooth as possible. Just like that. And just paint your bottom orange. Now we're gonna mark off for white on the top. Well, really we're gonna mark off so that we can make the yellow in the middle. Again, I'm gonna try to follow along on the jar itself, which again I know is very tricky when it's cylindrical. I'm gonna do that. Go the best that I can. And if your orange is dry on the bottom, you can tape off on the orange part. For that, I'm not gonna tape it. I'm just gonna try to be very, very careful with it. And now we're just gonna paint our yellow right in the middle. Now what we're gonna do is take our yellow paint and paint it right in the middle. Just like that. Again, you might need 2 coats, you might not. It really depends on your preference and how much you want to build up on it. Otherwise, just paint and see how it goes. Now, once the yellow is dry, you can peel off your tape. Just like that. So now, because I have a smaller jar, I might just do this part here, so then I have something to hold on to up here. Otherwise, you can bring it all the way up. If you're not gonna put a jar lid on, obviously, if you do plan to use the jar lid, then don't paint this part, because then you won't be, the paint will peel right off. You can also end it with a string or something around it, make it more rustic looking. But otherwise, you're just gonna paint whatever is left over with white, however high or low you wanna go with it. As you can see with the white, you don't really necessarily need 2 coats. Obviously you can if you'd like. And there you go. If you wanna let it sit for a day or 2, so really, really dry to see if you need even more layers, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, with a very, very light coat of Mod Podge, when it's completely 100% dry, you can use some Mod Podge to seal it up so that it'll stay. Otherwise, just be careful with moving it or anything. You don't want the paint to chip. Because it's chalk paint, it might chip a little bit quicker It may not. Otherwise, there you go. A candy corn mason jar. Happy crafting.